Well, welcome everybody. It's great to see. What a good crowd, huh? Good crowd. My name is Patty Berg, and I welcome you all here today. And I have the honor of being able to introduce our candidates. So, back in 2005, when I was the 1st Assembly District's elected representative in the State Assembly, Cheryl Seidner, then tribal chairwoman of the Wiyot tribe, was my choice for the California Legislators Woman of the Year Award, representing 6 counties of the 1st Assembly District. She was my choice because I considered her a wonderful role model for any young woman who wants to help make the world a better place, and for all of her endeavors to preserve the Wiyot language and culture, including, of course, which you all know, her work in spearheading efforts to reacquire 1.5 acres of Indian Island, the sacred ceremonial site where dozens of Wiyot people were massacred by white settlers in 1860. She was also my choice because of her nearly 30 years of work with Humboldt State's Educational Opportunity Program, and for her unwavering support of guiding our youth to educational opportunities and advancement. When Cheryl accepted this award in Sacramento, and then we had another ceremony up here on the reservation, she said, "I do what I do because I like it, and because I've always stood up and said something when I felt things weren't right." And that's what brings us here today. Cheryl has thrown her hat in the ring for the 1st District supervisorial race because she feels things aren't right, and that this must be a race based on issues that will positively impact all of the people who live in the 1st District, rather than be controlled by the powerful special self-interest of a few. Cheryl's family has lived in the 1st District for generations. Her roots are planted very deeply here. She has consistently demonstrated her commitment to putting people first in her work and in her innumerable community activities, both past and present. I believe the issues that she wants to tackle are reflective of what constituents in the 1st District really care about: jobs, education, environmental protection for the Eel River and our fisheries, affordable and accessible health care, and respect for our elders. Cheryl Seidner is my candidate of choice, and she has my full support. She puts all of the people first, a value I only wish every politician could aspire to. She also possesses the qualities that I believe make for an effective legislator in the world today. She's over 60, meaning she is a grown-up, okay. She does not need the job to boost her own ego. And she will vote her conscience after listening to all sides. I give you my candidate and my friend, Cheryl Seidner.
Oh, she said it all, so we can just go home now. Hot lot Reagan. Good morning, everyone. It is so good to see you all. And I want to invite you to, hi. I want to invite you to my community, the one that I grew up in. And as my grandmother would say, you welcome people from the 4 directions. And I want to welcome you from the east, from the south, from the west, and from the north. welcome to Wiyot country, and welcome to your home that you have come to make it your home. I thank you, and thank you, Patty, for, golly, I don't know if I can live up to that. Your wonderful introduction. My name is Cheryl Seidner, and I'm running for 1st District Supervisor. And I never in my entire thought that I would ever do something like this. You are my inspiration. You are my hope for tomorrow. My elders, my family, my friends, my quilting buds. I am just excited. There's changing here in Humboldt County. There are changes in our 1st District. And in that 1st District, we're saying goodbye to a good supervisor and a friend, Jimmy Smith. You know, he was good. He still is good. And I know any one of us can always go and talk to him. There's changes from, the district has changed a lot. We have now new communities in 1st District. And places that I liked to go when I was a kid, when our parents took us places. And those places are Shively and Stafford and Scotia. I was born in Scotia Hospital. And that some people said it was a hospital there. That was a long time ago. Remember, I'm over 60. And it was there, and we would go get our food out at Shively. When we would go to the Eel River for salmon and eel, we would go down to Matoll and be with other families that my parents knew. I grew up in the summertime, about 2 or 3 weeks at a time in that area, and it's always been good. The district lines have changed, and with the changes come a possibility of new leadership. And I want to be a part of that leadership. I want to help with those changes that are going to require new leadership. I am the daughter of William and Loleta Seidner. For generations, my family has lived at Table Bluff Reservation, and where we grew up understanding how to take care of the land, understanding that we only took enough for ourselves and not to hoard it in the back. We, as a basket weaver, as a basket weaver, I try. My sister is the renowned basket weaver in the family. We go out and gather, but we only gather what we can use that day. We don't go out and hoard it in the back. It is great. My father was a timber faller, and my mother was a filayer. They both worked very hard, and they empowered me to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. My parents taught me to respect, to work diligently for my community, to honor the wisdom and the insight of all of our elders, and putting the needs of people first. They taught me to respect one another even in times of disagreement, that we listen with our hearts and with our minds, that I hope to stand in the gap for those who cannot say things for themselves. My family believes in community, and that community is always putting people first. And these lessons are what guide me today in all that I do. It's pretty crazy being up here in front of you all. And I just think you're great. Some of the things that happen here is that we have urban and rural communities. Did I say that right? Communities. And together we will make a strong community, because it takes us all. It takes us all to work together towards that. Eureka's backyard is a plus for any city. My backyard was where family gathered, where we had fun, where we grew our hogs, Brett and Bart, where we had Sugarfoot. He would be on a table someday giving us good beef. We had milking cows, learned how to milk. Bossy took the little fingernail off my little finger when I was about 6. I'll remember that cow. In my backyard, we raised food. We had a garden. And the respect of all communities, we have to respect that backyard of Eureka, California. And that's the ruralness of our community and of our district. They have blessed us with all the many things that they have given us. Our rural communities also depend on the urban communities. They bring us retail. Our farmers bring their produce. Our dairymen bring their milk. And our beef comes from all the ranches around. It takes all of us to make a community. And to make it thrive, it takes all of us to make a strong one. One of my heart's issues is the Eel River. Grew up on the Eel River. I boated with my dad. My brother wouldn't take me fishing anymore because my fishing pole would land in the river. I pick it up, you know. Oh, okay. But I was just 9. I was just little. But we swam in it. We played in it. And today, in the summertime, you have to be careful. There's green algae. Dogs have died. Animals have died by drinking the water. Swimmers have gone in and come out with rashes. So it's not a healthy river. In order to have a healthy community, you have to have healthy rivers. And that's the Elk River, the Eel River, and the Mattole. It all is a part of our community. We have to restore these. We cannot let them go on unattended and not being taken care of. In my youth, that's where I was. Having salmon, having eel, which has now become a delicacy for most poor people or people without means to purchase it in the store. You know, those are sad. And so that's one of my strong things is the Eel River and the rivers. In my memories, you know, we can't leave it undone because was so beautiful when I was a kid growing up. And I know some of them was, we got to dam it because of the big floods we had in 55 and 64. Well, in those floods, my father, I can't say our father, went out in rowboats to get people off of the roofs. In the 64 flood, he went on a Coast Guard and took people off their roofs. And we never see him until midnight. And he left like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And so that's putting people first, people he did not know. And that's what I want to emulate him and my mother. At 6 o'clock dinner, knock, 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 there were people at our door. No one ever went without food because they always thought of people first. Answer the phone.
Sorry about that, Cheryl.
Of course, that's my sister's phone. Break it up, break it up. Humboldt County has fallen on hard times, just like most of America. It is our country in tandem. We all belong to this. Whether we are citizens or visitors here, it all belongs to us. Our location on the North Coast, behind this beautiful redwood curtain, I would never change. However, for our community, we have to look at the possibilities. And those things, the industries that we have to look at it responsibly. We can't just go out and say, it's going to bring jobs, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. We have to look at it responsible, being responsible citizens. Whether we're up there on the podium as supervisors or county people who are working for the county, but county citizens. This all belongs to all of us. It's not just first districts. It's all of ours. When we have healthy rivers, healthy citizens, we have a healthy community. These changes are challenges, but these challenges are opportunities. And we have set the bar high. We must be realistic about the identity of who we are and what industries we can expand. Because we have to remember, there's only 150,000 people here. And it's a good number. We have a resource-based community, our economy, and we must expand those resources. Humboldt Bay is underutilized at the present time. There lies a great opportunity and responsibility to use it wisely. We have 4,000 acres available for aquaculture. I always wanted to say agriculture.
It is.
Aquaculture. In my notes, it says right there, you want to see? No. And mariculture. And we are currently using only about 300 acres. So we can go further, but being responsible. We have the capacity to expand our seafood industry. We have the capacity to develop new shipping options out of our beautiful bay that we have to remember to try to keep it pristine. As the Wiyot tribe, we worked on the bay and worked on the Indian Island project and trying to clean up the mess that was left. And that has been a long time. We started in 2000. This is 2012. It's getting there, and it's getting close, and we are so excited about that. Because not only does it help our tribe, the Wiyot tribe, but it helps all of us in this community. We must seize the opportunity to grow these industries and bring jobs to our community in a responsible way. Yes, there's more. I worked at Humboldt State University for 28 years with the Educational Opportunity Program. I know I see some of you have gone to that program, and it's nice to see your faces here this morning. And I sought to help young people to stay in college, to stay in high school, to go on to college. You can't, as my mama used to say, you can't learn everything out of a book. And my daddy would say, study hard, learn all you can. So sometimes not having a college education does not mean that you are a failure. That just means that you have another way of looking at things. The entrepreneurship that comes here, some of that has come out of Humboldt State, has grown from people who were not born and raised here, but we embrace their ideas. One of the things that really scares me is College of the Redwoods, who is in the place of making jobs, creating jobs, teaching how to get jobs, and it's under the part of losing accreditation. That really frightens me, because if they go, Humboldt County has a big gap. And what are we going to do about it? Again, it's not just the supervisors, but it's the citizens of Humboldt County have to stand up and have to make a voice and saying, this is not good, and let us work together to find a way to make it better, so that they will not lose their accreditations. And that's one of the things I would like to work towards. I've been a tribal chairwoman for 12 years. I have a history of working with diverse, and I mean diverse, issues. If you think county has diverse issues, you hit a tribe up. We have the same issues of housing, and we have the same issues of economic development, roads, all of these things that we experienced in the tribal communities throughout the United States. We also experience here in Humboldt County. I learned to talk with people, even we had opposing sides, to talk with them and say what their ideas were. and hear and listen to what they had to say. Listening to people who feel that they never had a voice, that they didn't have a choice. And I heard that just recently, that nobody cares about us. We're too far in the rural community. And I said, that's not right. I care. And I know people care. But when you don't listen with compassion, you don't listen with passion, people do think that they're not cared for anymore. So I've learned to listen to needs and concerns. I've learned to create solutions by working with others. Even as I say, others who may not have my point of view. We may not always agree, but we gave one another respect. And we came to the table and we listened. The first new district deserves, is diverse, and they, see, I knew I was going to blow it.
You're doing good.
Okay. You're doing great. I'm almost done. Are you guys happy? The first district will have their diverse issues and their needs, and I hope to be that leadership that will help them get through that, help us get through it. Because what happens in the first district does and will spill over into the other 4 districts. Because if we do it right, we take everybody along with us. It's just not one, but it's for all. My experience and heritage teach me that government must be honest and accessible. The door is always open. Your ideas are always good. Good leaders are good listeners. I will do my utmost to return the respect and balance to the political process. My utmost. And one of the things I want to leave you with is that you inspire me to this challenge. You are my hope for today and tomorrow and for the next 7 generations. And in the spirit that I was taught by my parents, I will put people first. Thank you. I just applaud you for being here, being in this hot little room. And I just want to see you out there. We are on a shoestring budget. I mean, see, don't even have shoestrings on. And it is so good to see friends here, new friends, acquaintances, my elders, my family. I can't, and I'll tell you this, I have never done anything in my life by myself. Any of the successes I've had in my life has always been with family and friends, and sometimes with new people. Violence Against Women's Act, I worked with in Washington, D.C., so I have national exposure. I talked with President Clinton when he came here and would not talk about our issues. And I talked with Senator Inouye about Humboldt County itself. I talked with former Congressman Patrick Kennedy about women against violence, because that is a very touching to my heart. And I've talked with other congressmen and senators about the issues, and sometimes bringing issues that came from Humboldt State University to Mike Thompson's office, Congressman Mike Thompson. So when I did go out and work on behalf of Indian people, I never left Humboldt County by itself. I always brought Humboldt County with me. I always talked to congressmen and senators and letting them know where we were from. And if I had to, I'd get out the map and show them. This is where we're from. So I
that for a fact.
She does do that.
Have you received any endorsements yet, Cheryl?
I have received an endorsement without even asking. I received endorsement from Assemblyman Chesbrough. And I was humbled, really humbled. because I was just talking to him and asking him questions, and he says, "You've got my support. I will endorse you." And I go, "Oh, well, thank you."
Yes.
And my other support, yes, I've got it over here, is my friend who I told when he first came to Humboldt State University, don't ever be afraid to ask a question, even if the answer may be no. I didn't even know the man. But President Richmond, thank you for your support and your endorsement. And thank you again for coming. I see 2 EOP students right in a row. It's just really cool. And new friends, old friends. And I just thank you so much for all your time that you're willing to come. And I saw Christine last night. Come, please come, Christine. She did. She's so obedient. I will come and visit you, honest. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I truly appreciate it.
Those names are just to the forefront, I bet. I would have to do it. Yeah, I thought of it. Thanks. Good to see you.
Probably about 4 o'clock. Yeah, would you want to meet up afterwards? Is that a good time for you?
Okay. My situation is I have to get chickens and set a lot of them. If my tenant's out of town, so I can't ask them.
Okay.
And I'm basically have to do a lot of my gardeners and my friends.
Okay.
So if you're willing to do that,
Yeah, I'll plan on it.